high expectations, not too high and not too low expectations. Sabi nga ni Aristotle, the mean of both of the extremes is good. So, hindi dapat extreme. Not extremely high, not extremely low. Setting goals that are short-term, specific, and moderate. Okay. Setting goals that are short-term, specific, and moderately challenging enhances motivation more than establishing goals that are long-term, general, and overly challenging. Di ba kasi nakaka-discourage minsan kapag parang impossible mo ma-attain yung isang bagay. So dapat yung mga sineset nating goals and objectives should be what? Should be reasonable. And sabi dito that goals that are long-term, sabi dito, dapat moderately challenging. Okay? Learning is situated with multiple social contexts. And interpersonal relationship and communication are critical to both the teaching-learning process. So dapat mag-establish din tayo ng relationship, good relationship sa ating students. Ayan. Emotional well-being, that's emotional well-being, influences educational performance, learning, and development. So ano yung implication nun sa mga teachers? Teachers should create, diba, an environment conducive to learning, a friendly environment. Expectations for classroom conduct and social interaction are learned and can be taught using proven principles of behavior and effective classroom instruction. Di ba ang example ko sa inyo dito, halimbawa kapag behaviorism yung gagamitin natin na principle, di ba pwede tayong mag-provide ng stimulus and then, kumbaga parang expected yung magiging reaction ng mga bata. Halimbawa yung pagtapik ng table, ng board, can mean that they need to keep quiet. And effective classroom management is based on setting and communicating high expectations, consistently nurturing positive relationships, and providing high level of student support. High level of student support. Medyo mahirap ibigay yon, pero let's do our best to provide a high level of student support. And I'm always saying that the level of support that we need to give to each student is different, diba? From one another, from one student to the other. And formative and summative assessments are both important and useful, but require different approaches and interpretations. Students' skills, knowledge, and abilities are best measured with assessment processes grounded in psychological science with well-defined standards for quality and fairness. So in making assessments, there are a lot of things that we have to consider. Hindi lang tayo basta-basta gumagawa ng test, ng quizzes, and other assessment tools. Making sense of assessment data depends on clear, appropriate, and fair interpretation. Though we cannot remove the bias, diba, at all. Kasi human being lang naman tayo eh. So it's nearly impossible. It's impossible na ma-remove natin yung bias completely. So paano ba natin but we can minimize it by using rubrics and other tools. Ayan, principles of teaching science effectively. Ayan, halos ganun din dun sa mga principles na nabanggit. Ang mga na-add lang dito ay KWL method. Parang dapat we should know what our students know. Ayan, illicit thinking, field trip, blah, blah, blah. Okay, do you have any question about our previous lesson? Wala. May question ba kayo? Okay, so let's proceed to our next lesson. And in lesson planning, you are supposed to apply these principles. Okay? So connected to yung mga lessons natin. If you can turn on your camera, please turn it on. If you're just comfortable, no? But if you're not comfortable, di ba, with your camera turned on, it's okay. And if you want to speak, just type a message, or you may open your camera, your microphone, and then speak your mind. Ay, mukhang ayaw niyang i-turn on yung camera niyo. It's okay. Okay, now let's proceed to lesson planning. So we're done with the review. So our objectives for this lesson. So at the end of this lesson, you are expected to define, or you should be able to define lesson plan. Determine the parts of a lesson plan. Naririnig niyo ba ako mabuti?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Ayan, thank you. Differentiate different instructional strategies. Give own examples of instructional strategies and methods, and formulate lesson objectives. And then later on, I will ask you to, of course, make a lesson plan. Ayan, so before formally moving on to our lesson planning or lesson plan, let me know what you know and want to know about lesson plan and lesson planning. Okay, anyone? So, sa tingin ko dapat mag-start tayo dun sa pinakauna dun sa sa grid ko. Are you there, Alvin? Okay, next, April, May.
Sorry.
Sir, meron po.
We'll go back to you, Aldrin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's have April, May. So what do you want to know, and what do you know and want to know about lesson planning and lesson plan? April, May.
Sir, yung para po sa akin, yung alam ko lang po about sa lesson plan is parang ito po yung mga nagsisilbing basis ng mga teachers sa kung ano yung mga gagawin sa pagtuturo sir, na kung saan nakalagay doon yung mga instruction or mga different activities para sa mga learners, sir.
Okay, thank you, April, May. So let's go back to Aldrin. What do you know and want to know about lesson plan?
Sir, para sa akin po yung lesson plan is ito po yung material na ginagamit ng teacher para nagsisilbi pong guide kung ano po yung mga dapat nilang gawin and ituturo nila sa kanilang klase po.
Okay, thank you. So let's have another one, RJ.
Sir.
What do you know and want to know about planning?
Sir, ang gusto ko pong malaman about, yung alam ko na po about sa lesson plan is, yung lesson planning po is, or lesson plan po is, ito po yung tool or yung instrument na ginagamit ng teachers para madala niya po yung isang lesson or topic sa klase, or in addition po is para matuto po yung mga estudyante or learners ng mabuti po about din po sa lesson or topic. Tapos yung gusto ko pong matutunan, sir, is yung structure niya po, kung paano po siya gawin, or yung mga basic na parts po niya or whatever po, ganun po.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, RJ. Okay, let's have last one, Blessy Marie. Hi, Blessy. Andiyan ka pa?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. What do you know and want to know about lesson plan?
Sir, gaya din po ng sinabi nila para sa akin po yung lesson planning is ito po yung basis ng teacher na kung saan para mas maayos po, mas maging effective po yung pagtuturo ng mga teacher sa kanyang students, sir.
Okay. How about the things that you want to know? Meron ba?
Yes, sir. Kung ano po yung gaya din po ng sinabi ni RJ kung ano yung mga structured at kung paano nga ba ito gagawin effectively. Ganun po, sir.
Okay, thank you guys. So next natin ulit yung mga mamaya. Okay, so sabi nyo parang we do lesson planning. So we create lesson plan para mas maging effective yung pagtuturo natin, which is correct. Okay? So that is one of the main objective of lesson planning, to make our teaching effective. Okay, so, actually natanong ko na to sa inyo dati at kung di ako nagkakamali, si Justin yung sumagot. Sabi niya, so minention pa nga ni Justin before yung mga parts ng lesson plan. So we start with learning competencies or objectives, blah blah blah. Yung mga ganun. Ayan, so bago tayo pumunta doon, tignan muna natin itong mga various definitions of lesson planning. So sabi dun sa una, lesson planning is a way of visualizing a lesson before it is taught. So it's our way of visualizing a lesson before it is taught. The objective of lesson planning is learning. So sabi nyo nga kanina, para mas maging effective yung pagtuturo, para matuto yung mga bata. Actually, hindi lang yung mga bata yung natututo when we are doing lesson plan. Tayo mismong teachers, natututo tayo. So mas nagiging familiar tayo sa content ng lesson. What else? Mas natututo tayo pagdating doon sa pagde-deliver ng lesson. So mas napaplano natin siya ahead of time, hindi yung pagdating natin sa klase, doon pa lang tayo nagpaplano kung ano ipapagawa natin. So tandaan nyo, lesson plan is very important. 'Di ba? Parang 'di ba, ano yung mga teacher na naaalala nyo dati na ako may mga naalala kong teacher dati nung high school na parang hindi sila nauuwi yung lesson sa kwento. Alam niyo 'yun? Yung hindi na nag-lesson yung teacher. Yes, Jovelyn. Wanna say something?
Nagiging talambuhay.
Oo, 'di ba, nagiging talambuhay na nila yung dinidiscuss nila. Kasi for one, pwedeng hindi sila nag-lesson planning o hindi sila gumawa ng lesson plan. Kasi 'di ba, parang kahit saan na lang mapunta yung discussion. So mahirap yung ganun. Okay, the objective of lesson planning is learning. So sabi nyo kanina, effective, para mas maging effective yung pagtuturo natin, mas matuto yung mga bata. And hindi lang actually yung mga bata yung natututo, pati rin tayo. Lesson planning is a hallmark of effective teaching. Ayan. Planning, so tama kayo kanina. So sabi dito, it's a hallmark of effective teaching. Planning lessons increases a teacher's chances of carrying out a lesson successfully. So mas tumataas daw yung possibility na maging successful yung ating instruction or yung ating teaching or yung pag-carry out natin ng lesson if we plan the lesson. Okay? It also allows teachers to be more confident before starting a lesson. May nabasa ko sa isang book na sabi niya, parang the less we perspire, the more we inspire. 'Di ba? Kasi pag hindi mo pinano yung lesson, pwedeng pawis-pawis ka kasi hindi mo alam yung gagawin mo. 'Di ba? Sabi doon, the less you perspire, so mas kaunti yung pagpapawis mo sa klase, the more you inspire students. Next, lesson planning inculcates reflective practice as it allows teachers to think about their teaching. So yung lesson planning, hindi yan nagtatapos nung pagkatapos ng lesson. So after the lesson, you as a teacher should reflect, Diba? Kung ano ba yung mga ginawa mo, naging effective ba yung strategy mo, yung natuto ba yung estudyante as reflected on the assessment tool that you use. So, hindi yung nagtatapos nung pagkatapos ng lesson after ng assessment. So, you as a teacher should reflect. Ano ba yung ano pa yung dapat na ginawa ko na hindi ko nagawa? So, you ask yourself questions like that. Next, lesson planning helps teachers master learning area content. Diba sa part ng lesson plan, yung content, yung dun sa lesson proper. So mas na-master nyo na yung content bago nyo pa man din siya ituro sa mga bata. Do you have any questions dun sa first slide? So anyway, definitions lang naman yun ng lesson planning. Okay, experts agree. Yes, Justin. Do you want to add something?
Wala sir, may tanong lang po ko.
Okay, what is your
Paano
question?
sir pag hindi po naging effective po yung ginawa mong lesson plan? Ano po yung dapat mong gawin sir?
Okay, so that's a very good question, Justin. So what if hindi nga naging effective yung lesson mo? Paano pag hindi pala natuto yung mga bata? So it's an opportunity for you to learn and to adjust. Actually, as a teacher, during the lesson pa lang, kung napapansin mo na hindi siya effective, kung napapansin mo na hindi mo makuha yung attention ng mga bata, which is very important, to have an effective lesson, di ba? Or teaching, dapat maging flexible ka. So dapat during the lesson pa lang, napansin mo na, nakita mo na ay hindi effective yung teaching strategies ko, hindi effective yung teaching